Hello and welcome to the March Mixed Media Kit video. This is for the Scarlet Lime Store Mixed Media Kit that comes out every month, and I am so excited about this kit this month because it is almost all, with the exception of the Studio Calico Spray, all of my exclusive products that I did with Pink Paisley for the She Art line. So I am so excited about it. All of it except for this rub-on. This rub-on is actually in our main kit. So if you got the main kit, you have these. Plus we sell these in the store. We sell all this product in the store as well, besides just in the kits. So if you run out of something, you can go there and buy more, because rub-ons, of course, you want more than one pack. The other thing I wanted to tell you about, though, too, is we are going to be listing this week, or they should already be listed if you're watching this later than this week. We did an exclusive line of Faber-Castell pens that actually match my She Art line. So these aren't the regular pens that you can find in the store that are carded. These are different ones that actually is part of their artist line. And so I contacted them and I said, I need to come up with some colors that match my She Art line. So this is what we figured out. So it's a really great. We've got a purple here, we've got a pink, we've got a red, a turquoise, a blue, a great yellow, and then a green. So these are my favorite colors and they match the She Art line. And then we also did a neutral pack that's exclusive. And if any of you are taking the Wild Abandonment class, I know you guys love the cold gray pen that Janelle uses. It actually comes with the cold gray, or sorry, comes with the warm gray. It comes with a walnut brown, a cinnamon, which is a great flesh tone color, and it also comes with a raw umber and then an ivory. So we have a neutral pack, and then we also have a new exclusive pack that matches the She Art line that I have with Pink Paisley. So excited for that. So today we're going to do a canvas, and I wanted to talk just really fast about this line. I guess I could have pulled this out. So this line, so excited about it. The idea behind it is that I teach and I travel and I do online workshops, and I really wanted a line that represented me and that I could also use when I teach, because, you know, as much as I love the rub-ons and stuff that are out there, I wanted some rub-ons that reflected my own doodling, and I wanted a texture set. These are fun texture rub-ons that have, like, this is actually my favorite flip-flop that's been stamped and now become a rub-on, and this is Punchinella, it's been painted. So these are really fun rub-ons. And then, of course, people always ask me about my vintage doily that I got, and it's an old plastic doily, and I use it all the time as a mask or a stencil, and people loved it, so we made that into an actual stencil with them. And then, you know, I love using tissue paper, old tissue paper, pattern paper, so I came up with my own pattern paper for that. And then, of course, we have to have a line of papers because everything's bright. But probably my favorite part of this line is the bits and pieces. They're the paper doll pieces. And they just punch out. They're not sticky back because they're not stickers. But the idea behind them is that if you're a beginner, or if you have kids, or you yourself, you just want to make something fast and creative, and that's what we're going to do today, is you just take these and with all these other elements, put them onto canvas, and then of course we're going to use the Faber-Castell pens to shade and add some more texture, and we'll probably use some of my stamps from my Unity line as well to add texture. But we're going to create a canvas in literally a matter of minutes because these pieces are already formed for you. So you can do this on just about anything. I have a 12 by 12 canvas here, and I actually think that I'm going to do a smaller one. I think I'm going to do just a house scene, so I'm going to use this. It's just a deep edge 8 by 8 canvas. And the first thing that I'm going to do, and you can do a girl, you could do the house, you could do just a bird scene, you can do whatever you want. But the first thing we want to do is we want to cover the canvas. And you can cover canvas if you've taken any of my workshops before. There's so many different ways. Today we're just going to cover it with two elements. Well, besides paint and all those good things, we are going to cover it with tissue paper and pattern paper. So with the tissue paper, the reason why I love using tissue paper is because it's transparent. So even if I have something underneath it, like the canvas texture, you're going to still see that texture through the canvas. And we're just going to rip off a piece. I'm not ripping that very well. A couple pieces. even if, like, say I had a piece of paper like this and the tissue paper went over it, especially when it gets wet and it becomes Mod Podge, you're actually going to see that paper through the tissue paper. So that's why I love tissue paper, because it's transparent. So we are just going to take this and we're going to put it right onto the canvas. So it's just decoupage or Mod Podge or whatever it is that you want to use. And just going to put a coat of it down. And then you're just going to layer it right onto the canvas. Now usually I don't cover the sides of my canvas with pattern paper because it doesn't fold over very well, but that's the one great thing about tissue paper is it's so lightweight. It just curves right over to the side and you can just put it down. And the other thing that I always tell people is with tissue paper you get a ton of wrinkles, and you want that because every little wrinkle and every little crease that ends up on your canvas is actually just another great piece of art, because later when you are dealing with paints and stamps and sprays or whatever you're dealing with, it totally just picks that up. Like it's just, it picks up those crevices and those valleys and that you've created with it, and all the little pieces. And again, I'm going to layer that over, which is kind of cool because then you see the other piece underneath it. So super simple, we're just covering half of the canvas. We're going to do a scene, so an outdoor scene. Really easy. And then we want to do a grass. So I'm just going to take some of my green paper. And there's two different greens in here. And I'm going to use both of them actually. And I'm just going to cut them into little strips, or rip them into strips, I guess I should say. And then I'm going to put those onto the canvas as well. And that'll be kind of like a grass. And you could cut those with your fingers, or I mean with your fingers. You could try cutting them with your fingers. It might not work very well, but... So we're just putting, cut them with scissors, you know what I meant. So there we go. Now we've got a green grass base. And slide that a little bit. Okay, I'm going to dry this really quick, and then we're going to start adding paint to it. And we're going to add a house to it and a fun scene to it. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to color the top of this tissue paper. And the one thing that we want to do is we want to use a paint that's transparent because we don't want to necessarily like cover up what we've done. So I'm just going to use the Claudine Helmuth paints because they are transparent. That's what I love about them. And I'm just going to dip my brush. I need to get a brush that's not hard. And I always get it a little bit wet anyway. What am I trying to do here? Okay, so I get it a little bit wet just because I like the paint to not be as thick. But see how when it goes on, it totally goes on transparent. And we like that because we don't want it to cover up the tissue paper. We just want it to kind of color the paper. And that is the difference between an acrylic paint that is opaque and a paint that is transparent. And the Claudine Helmuth paints, they are transparent, except for the white. The white is opaque. So... and some pieces than others we might want to make it a little thicker. But then we also want to paint the grass down below. And that one I'm just going to do with my fingers. I'm going to actually just use this Liquitex ink for that. bright old green, baby. All right, let's put that down. I'm going to finger paint a little bit of white on there too, in the background. Okay, maybe a little too much. Alrighty. So now at this point is when I want to add some texture to my canvas, and I am going to do that with stamps. And I'm going to get some of my favorite, I have a new line of stamps out with Unity, as you know. So I'm just going to grab some of these. Okay, and we're just going to add some texture with this. And I always make sure I add texture to the sides too. This is my favorite grid. If you guys remember, I used to use the roller doodle. I think I used this last time, but this is also a good one. Just adding some texture to it. See that? Now we're going to use the spray too, because we are going to use the mask. And I already have a mask that I've pulled out. And we're just going to use it to spray a sun. So just kind of stick that down a little bit. And I'm going to take this and dab it just a little bit. Oh, so cute. I don't know if you can see that, but can you see the design of it? I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I gotta show you something else at the end of this too. Okay, so we're getting sidetracked really quick, but I wanted to show you something fun else with the stencils while we're waiting for that other things to dry. So this is a 6x12 canvas, and I'm just gonna cover it super quick with just some tissue paper. But I wanna show you something else fun that you can do with the stencils and modeling paste. So let's get this covered and we'll come right back and then we'll finish the other canvas. Okay, so I covered this canvas just with that pattern paper, and then I added a little bit of paint and some stamps to it. And now I'm just going to use modeling paste. It's light modeling paste. You can get it at the Scarlet Lime store on our website. And then I mixed some colors with them. You can see them kind of down in here. And I'm just going to use this, and it's gonna be kind of funky because modeling paste really needs to have time to dry. But I just wanted to show you what you could do with the stencil. I mean, there's so many things you could do with the stencil. Obviously, you could just stencil it with paint, but I love modeling paste. Love, love, love it. So just basically spread it right across here with a palette knife, or you can use your fingers. I was demoing this at CHA, and you can just totally use your fingers. And you can get it as thick or as thin as you want it to. And then you pull it off, and hello, stinking cool. Freaking gorgeous. See how cool that is? And then you could do another one, and I normally would let this dry, so I don't even know if this is gonna work very well, but we're gonna try it. And we're just gonna come on with another color. Just being really careful. It's kind of turning like a blue-green. There was spray on that. And then we pull that off, and voila. And then let's do a third one. I'm going to clean this stencil off just a second. And I'll do the red. Got a piece of paper in there. So this is just modeling paste mixed with paint. That's it. Acrylic paint. And the colors, these are the paint dabbers from Ranger. We carry those in the store as well. Scarlet Lime store, mixed media store. This is raspberry, this was pool, and this was watermelon. Love those colors. Those match my line too. Pull that off, and that probably took us no time at all. I don't know, maybe a few stinking seconds, but we have a gorgeous piece of art that could totally go on our wall. I mean, like, seriously, freaking cool. So that's another fun thing to do with the stencil. I mean, obviously use it for backgrounds, whatever you want to use it for. Love the stencil. If you didn't get this mixed media kit, it is available in our store, so you can get it. And you know, if you wanted more than one, I have like 2 or 3 of them because I like to use them for different things. One for just sprays, one for just modeling paste. So, sorry, I'm cleaning up this in here. Okay, so let's move on back to our other canvas. I'm going to put that aside. That was kind of fun, though. Alright, so back to this. So now we are at a point where we can actually add some kind of texture to it, too, as well, and color. So I'm going to take the rub-ons, and I'm just going to come in here, and I tell people this all the time. With the rub-ons, what you want to do is, it's totally opposite, obviously, of when you do, like stamp making or whatever. You don't want it to be perfect. You want them to half come off, half not come off. I mean, see how I'm just kind of rubbing here and there? Like, that's the idea behind it. You want it to be totally random. So there we go. And now we're going to come in here. Seriously, you're going to see how simple and fast this is. Awesome if you have a project that you want to do. If you're not feeling super creative and you want someone else to be creative for you. So we're going to punch out, and we're going to use this house. And I actually am going to use the sun. Kind of did a big huge sun here, but I think I'll use that. And then I actually want to do some flowers. Maybe a bird. So there we go. Super simple. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to Mod Podge all of this on. So you put a coat down, then put a coat on top. And I actually, this is kind of bugging me. I came out a little too far on this yellow. I don't want it to be that far out. Now I'm just covering up everything I just did, but that is the beauty of paint and mixed media, is you just kind of go with the flow. Alright, so let's put the rest of these on here. Let's put this house on here. Put this bird up here. Put some flowers. Oh, that's a huge flower. Sounds like my kids are home from school. Alright, I'm going to put this flower right here. So it's just putting them on here, just like that. Perfect, perfect. Sorry, I'm grabbing a butterfly as well. I think I want to put a butterfly up here on the sun. Okay, so now we're going to dry that. Okay, so we have it all dried, and then this is where all of that fun stuff comes into play. So right now it just looks like it's, it's paper on canvas. We want it to look like it's part of the canvas, so we're going to do that a lot of different ways. So first of all, we're going to take the Faber-Castell pens, and we're going to come in here, and we're going to shade with them. And this is the biggest reason why I love these markers, because they are permanent. Once they are dry, they are completely permanent, waterproof, whatever, but before they're dry, you can move them, especially if they're on Mod Podge. You can move them. And see how they just match everything perfectly? So we just want to shade all the different components. Alright. Now can you see a difference? Hopefully you can see the difference better, but the minute that you shade it, it doesn't look like it's off of the canvas anymore. It looks like it's part of it. So then we're also going to come in here, and I'm going to draw some flower stems on here. And we could actually make some out of canvas, actually paper. I think I might do that. But before we do that, we got to add texture back onto it, and that's where these rub-ons come back in. So we're going to come in here and add rub-ons over elements that we've already done. And then we want to take the doodle rub-ons. Oh, this is the fun part. Let's back this up just a teeny bit. Because you know how much I love doodling. And this is an easy way, if you're not like totally, confident in doodling, you just come in here with these. And you've got your little stitches. Okay, so I got done with all the rub-ons, and you can see all the little details. The rub-ons just give it that fun, little messy kind of look to it. I'm going to paint some leaves on here. I was going to do a rolled paper look, but I like what I did instead there. And now I want to come in, and the final thing I want to do is put some words on it. So let's see. I have these little words down below here, cut out. And I'm going to do the one, "She was true." Okay, so now that that's dried, the last thing that I come in with is my Permaball Pilot pen, my doodle pen, and I'm going to just start outlining. And that's another thing, is this stuff isn't outlined. And I did that on purpose because I think it's important to put your own personal touch onto your canvases. So I'm just going to come in here and doodle around the flowers. Kind of define all of that. And I'll get closer here in a minute so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so see how I've just come in here with my pen and I just started to sketch all of that in. Just kind of doodle it. Gives a little bit more fun, funky, personal touch to it. And if you want, you can come back in here and do some more shading around stuff to make them stand out just a little bit more. Alright, and I think I'm just about done. Shade those a little bit. I'm going to add a rub-on or two to it, to that. And I think it's done. Keep adding. I think it's done, but I could sit here and fiddle and do stuff on here all day long. Okay, but there you go. So we did a canvas in like no time because we're using all of these elements that are in the kit. So you could do a canvas with just flowers on it. You could do a canvas that's like this. And of course, after this is dry, this modeling paste is, it should dry within a couple hours. I'm going to go back and stamp over this and add some more paint to the top of it to really make it artsy. But just a lot of fun. I mean, there's so much that you can do with all of the different elements in this new product line. So if you didn't get the kit, I think we have maybe a couple more available at the store. But besides that, we carry all these products just to stand alone. Obviously, the kit was a better deal because you get a little bit more, you get a discount on it. But come to the store and check out all the new products because this is my new product line I'm so excited about. So fast and fun and totally in love with the mixed media kit this month. I think it's so fun. So thanks for joining me, and we will see you next month for the April mixed media kit.